Welcome, everybody. What would happen if you forgot about everything that you had learned and acquired and added to the story of seeking that you've learned about non duality and about what freedom is? What would happen? Because all these things, these concepts which you have taken on from speakers and teachers and satsangs and books and things they've all been added to you. So they're all things that have been added to you, and you already had lots of things added that are illusory. But at the end of the day, there's not going to be any explanation. There's not going to be any one sentence that's going to point to, and well, it could point to, but it's not going to describe exactly what this is, because it's what already is. It's what was there when you were a tiny little baby, before you developed this sense of being a person in a body separate from life. So what would happen if all of that was just dropped? And that's what I'm encouraging today, is to just drop all this idea of how non-duality should sound, how it should look, what it is, what it isn't, how you should describe it, how you should point to it, because it's all part of the dream of seeking. It's all part of the dream of the apparent me. What's being pointed to in that is that all there is this. All there is what there always has been. This. Hi, Sadhana. Thank you, Ella, for mentioning last live stream to hit the notification bell. First time being here from the beginning. Cool. Yeah, so if you're always trying to catch me, it's really simple. You just subscribe to my channel. And when you subscribe, a little bell comes up. And if you click on that bell, you will receive a notice, I think via email, that says Ella May Sophia is now live or something. But I'm also just going to share it now to the Facebook group and page. So if you type in Facebook, you will find my group and page. And then I usually post it like at the beginning, just while people are gathering. I usually just post it. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just posting it. So now it's shared on all the groups. And I'm just going to post in a second. I'm just going to post the group link so that you can join the group, because that's where a lot of the online notifications and things happen, and sharings and all kinds of things. So now I'm just posting in the chat the group link so you can join the group. Hi, Ram. So I'm just allowing a few people to gather. So this is a space to ask questions. So feel free to ask questions in chat feature. And this is a free broadcast as usual, but I am completely supported by donations. And if you wish to support me, thank you so much. You can do that in the link, PayPal link below. If you want to make a session with me, sessions are completely by donation. All I ask is that you give a donation that's in alignment with your own income. I want anybody who really feels that they want to speak with me and have sessions with me to be able to do that. And if you want to have more than one session, you can do that too. You can have like 2, 3, 4 sessions, but some people just have one. And you can do that with the link below to my website. I never plan what to say. Hi, Robert. Morning, Ella. Just checking in from Vancouver Island. Nice to see you, Robert. Rum says, I got this live. Any fox sightings? No, because I haven't remembered to look in the morning and the evening. Like in the middle of the day, it's very, very rare to see foxes in London because they sleep in the day. But I haven't remembered to look when it's twilight and dawn. So I'm sure at some point I'll see them. Certainly in the summer, you see them. If you stay up in the night and you go for a walk in the night, you see loads. They're very beautiful. So the reason that so many people can't see or grasp what they're looking for in this message is because they're still seeing it from the perspective of the person. And the nature of the person is to be a seeker, is to look for something. Not everybody is an intense seeker. Some people are just happy watching Netflix on a night and going to the pub and going to the bar and having a coffee and stuff like that. But some people have a more intense need to look for something, and so they become addicts or things, or they become like, they have like a big dream that when they're famous, or when they become a astronaut, or when they become a film director, that then everything will be whole. And so Also, and then also obviously this, some people come to this and they're looking for something that will fulfill them, but as long as there is this illusion of a person, that's not going to be seen, because the person will always seek, always seek, always seek, and the person is looking for something outside of itself. So it's always going to live in this kind of illusion, although it feels very real in that illusion, of there being me and the world, me and the world, me and the world, me and the world. And so when there is that separation of me and then everything else, what you're looking for is always going to seem to be outside, and you are going to feel inside. And what then people think is that everything is in me, but that's still being a me and an outside. When the illusion of me falls away, boom, the illusion of there being something, an other thing drops away. And so then there is just life happening for no one. And it's not out there. It's not in here. It is everything and nothing, because it's not any one thing. And so the seeker does not find, the seeker does not realize, the seeker does not become enlightened or liberated or see the kingdom of heaven. There is just life happening, and that is heaven, that is wholeness, that is non-duality. But really, there is no such thing as non-duality, because there would have to be duality for there to be non-duality. And non-duality sort of suggests that non-duality is a thing. Because it has a name, then the seeker thinks it's a thing. But it isn't a thing. There's no thing. There's nothing. There's nothing, darlings. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So before I get some water, I just want to say that it's probable that in middle of June, I'm not exactly sure of the dates yet, that I will be speaking in central Italy, in Perugia. So I'll keep you updated by that, but I thought I'd give people who live in Italy, people who live in Switzerland, people who live in sort of Germany, France and all those areas, or people even in England or anywhere that wishes to come in and meet me and hear me speak, and it will be really nice to see you. So I'm just going to get some water. I mean, that's just heaven, the sound of the birds, isn't it, right now? Can you hear it? It's just heaven. I love it. Sadhana. So here I am watching the appearance of Ella. Speaking to whom? Question mark. This is watching, question mark. Don't mean to sound all non-dualish. Dualish. I've never heard that before, non-dualish. So what are you asking? So here I am. No, you're not. You're not there. What evidence is there that you are there? What evidence is there? The sensory awareness? No, that's just sensory awareness of the body. Is it the neuro-linguistic processing of the mind that sounds like a voice? No, that's just what that is. There is no one here speaking to anyone, yet there appears to be. And this message is not pointing to that you should deny that I am not here and there is no one there and all that stuff. Those words are not meant to be taken literally, although they are a fact. They're pointing to that there is only wholeness, there is only God, there is only life. There isn't someone and life. There is just life. And this I that thinks it's watching is not watching. There is just watching. Although it appears that there is a character learning words, listening, perhaps concepts and illusions are dismantling, and perhaps new concepts are being created, which happens a lot. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way of the human mind. We all have concepts. But all there is looking, listening, hearing. It's the same thing, isn't it? Listening and hearing. There's just birds singing and a girl talking about this on the computer or the phone, and there's just life happening as it always has happened. Nothing to grasp, no one to grasp it. Just life. And that is love. That's love. Loving itself. Someone watching an apparent someone watching an apparent other someone. It's God watching itself, and it's just life beautifully appearing and happening. And yet, it's not any one thing. It's just this. It's just life. So beautiful as it is. Even when there's suffering, even when there's sadness. I think you notice that life is always life. Even when it's summer or spring or hot or cold or sad or happy or young or old or rich or poor or blah-de-blah or blah-de-blah. It's just life. Always life. Even when Ella dies, this seeming person and character is no longer appearing, it's still life. When someone dies, life just carries on. Because it's just life. When humans have finished their appearance in the universe, life will just carry on. Then some other creature will develop and become something and go rah, 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 rah. So let's see. Ram sent a message. And at first, Sadhana says, "Lol, thank you. You're very welcome. And if you have any more questions, please do ask." Ram, I may only speak to 5 to 10 people a week. That's probably about the same as I do, with my voice, maybe even less. My isolation, seclusion, which is a situation I have chosen, leaves social skills to be desired, but humanity's bullshit makes me shake my head. Well, lots of people feel like that. And not everyone is a Kim Kardashian or a Donald Trump or a big shiny out there person. Like, lots of people are very peaceful. And in fact, the only time I really use my voice this much and talk this much in any given week when I'm here in London. When I'm traveling, it's different. I mean, even then I don't talk a lot. I like to be very peaceful. This on this broadcast twice weekly and in sessions is about the only time I really chatter on. In general, I hardly speak. I prefer it that way. I spend most of my time alone and I'm quite peaceful and happy with that. And it's quite beautiful and blissful. Before this whole shift awakening thing, whatever it is, I was really uncomfortable with that and I didn't like it. Although at the same time, I liked being quiet. I also wanted to be social. I thought I had to be, and I felt incredibly lonely. Whereas now, I sort of love loneliness. What is the beloved is all alone. There is no other. Carlo, hi treasure. Ciao tesoro. Come stai? And Rom says, this wonderful pirate broadcast brings a great calm to this little piece of heaven. Thank you. It's a pirate broadcast? Why? I always kind of secretly quite like to imagine that my father is Captain James Hook from the movie Hook. I mean, he's such a bad guy, but I kind of don't know. I'd quite like him to be my dad. Sajatha, hello, darling. How are you? I love it when all my regulars come on here, and I really like it when new people say hello. So if you're new, say hello, because I love it. It's so nice. You know, there's people that listen to me for months, even maybe years, and I didn't even know, and that's so nice, you know? I mean, I just think it's amazing that anybody listens to me, and that I just think it's amazing. It's amazing, you know? And yeah, I love to share about this. I think it's incredibly beautiful, and I love it when people feel the love of this, when they're not just in their head, but they feel the love of it, and they feel, hi Donna, hi Lexi, this topic is unlike anything else it is. And in some ways it's like it's the most precious message. It's the most beautiful, most precious message. And it's not my message. None of this comes from a person. I mean, I think the way it's expressed here comes from a place of compassion, of love, because Ella, me, apparently Ella, she has lived quite a challenging, quite tough, quite deep, quite beautiful, multifaceted life. And so out of that comes compassion and understanding and all of those things for the human experience. I mean, obviously there's things that I haven't experienced, but it's like, so it is unique in that way, but It doesn't come from me. None of this comes from me. This is not from wisdom. Although obviously some things I'm wise about. But it's not like this comes from a place of wisdom. It just comes from, I will honestly say that this message probably comes from my heart because there's no thinking involved in it. I mean, sometimes I guess the mind might sort of try to think of a better word to explain feeling, but most of it's just feeling and what's experienced here. Although there isn't a here, really. It's hard to explain, very hard to explain. Sometimes it doesn't matter about how you explain it or how it sounds. Siddhana says, yes, the intimacy. It's very intimate. What's being pointed to here is the most intimate thing you could ever think of. Hi, Deborah, darling. Yes, it's so lovely listening along with you and others on a regular basis. Sweet and rather cozy. Yeah, it is. It is kind of sweet and rather cozy. That's probably the best way to describe it. Our existence can be difficult, but it's good. Yeah. It's not our existence, it's just life, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's life is not easy. There's lots of people saying life is so wonderful and easy all the time. They're living in a dream of peace. They're living in a dream of privilege. Life is also incredibly cruel and difficult and horrible and torturous and all those difficult things. Life is a mixture. And eventually the body-mind, unless you're lucky to just die in your sleep, will become sick and it will die. And it probably won't be a very nice experience, although it might also be a nice experience simultaneously to being horrible. Hi, Bonka Bonka. Hi, cutie. How are you? I'm very well, thank you, cutie. Alexi, I once went to listen to a non-duality teacher live and my mind went, oh, are you crazy? You might die in there. Yeah, but no one can die, really. Only the body-mind can seem to disappear. All this sounds very detached, and I never want to encourage that this is about detachment. It's not at all. Carlo, more improvisation on the angelic harp, please. Release, open your heart more and more with your blissful, mysterious music. Come on. Kiss, 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 Ella May Sophia. Well, these things just happen when the inspiration happens. I do like playing my angelic harp. I used to have an even more beautiful harp, but I don't have it anymore because I have moved so many times that I have ended up selling things in order to move, and so I don't have my most beautiful harp, but one day I will get one again. And Shane says, group hug, hi Ella. Hi Shane. Sadhana. Listening to you, Ella, makes all that was learnt dissolve. Just being beautiful. Bonka bonka. My girlfriend just told me she's moving. She always gets the last word. I just love this time of year. Bonka Bonka says, will you be my newest next ex? What on earth does that mean? What does that mean? What does that even mean? What does it mean? Carla, are you planning public talks in Italy in the near future? Yes, I said a little while ago that in June, the date is yet to be announced because the whole thing's got to be properly organized. I'm coming to central Italy, to Perugia, to give a talk. So come along. It's probably just going to be a 1 day or maybe 2 day talk. I don't know. I've got to speak to my lovely friend about it and arrange it, which I'm going to be doing in the next few days. So I will let you know. And it will be on the website and also Facebook and all those things. And maybe also later on in Rome. So we'll see. Rome. What I always take away from your program is a connection with questions from others. So thanks to everyone. Looking forward to your next talk. Your Italian friends are always interesting. Thank you, Rom. Carlo, Will your next book of poems, which will be released in June, I think, have a translator in Italian? Not unless someone translates them. Then they'd need to be republished in Italian. Although technically they could be on each page, there could be Italian and English, but don't know. I'm being a bit lazy about my poetry book. I know that lots of people want it. But I am kind of slowly putting it together. It should be available before I leave for Italy in June. That's like a month. Shit. It's not going to be a very big book, but it's probably going to have about 25 poems in it and little bits of writing and different things. And I'm not doing it through Amazon or anything. It's like something you're going to order through my site if you want it. And I'm just getting like a little press to print copies, and it's just going to be very simple, just like a little pamphlet kind of book, but it's going to be really beautiful. Satana, can you say something about the famous saying, there are no others? Because it's not like that suddenly there will be no distractions made, because from the time of birth you are given a name. I don't know what people mean when they say that there are no others. That to me seems to bring up the idea of there being no thing. There's no thing. That there is the beloved wholeness, there is only wholeness. And so there is nothing other. So there are no others. Yet there appears to be Ella and Sadhana and Ella and Rom and Kylo and Bonker Bonker and Deborah and Shane and anybody else. But they're all sort of like flowers, individuated flowers that are all appearing in the same garden. So everything is all the same thing. So, yeah, there seems to be no others. But for the person to accept that would just create a state of detachment. So it's not supposed to be taken on as a concept and a practice and an idea by which you live your life by. That would just be a conceptual misunderstanding of what that means. Sometimes I sound so damn intelligent, but I'm not. I guess I am quite intelligent. I think I am. Hi, William. And so the movie comes alive. That's what Sedana said. And so the movie comes alive. I don't know about that. There's just this. It's just life. It's just life happening. Deborah. Perfect ladies' break time as I had to finish drying my hair. Sedana says, so if I say it's like being behind the scenes, it's not quite right, as there is nowhere this is. Just words, Anna, sorry. What do you mean by being behind the scenes? What is behind the scenes? Behind the scenes. I don't know what you mean. What's behind the scenes exactly? What do you mean? Behind the scenes and the movie or the play is the same thing. Probably just referring to the watcher. There is no watcher. There is no one watching, and therefore there is no watcher. There is just seeing. There is no seer, just seeing. There is no lover, just loving. Although there appears sometimes to be a lover or a seer, but there is no one behind the eyes. There is only the eyes which are God looking, which is love looking. It's just a dream that someone is behind the eyes, looking at everything. There is just looking like a baby, but with an adult mind. No watching, just seeing. Thank you. Yeah. No watching, just seeing. And that which is seeing is God. But he's not separate. He's not something. He's not a thing. He's not somewhere. It's just God looking. And it's one. And every cell and everything that's being seen is also the thing that is seeing it. These eyes are seeing themselves right now. There. You're all free. You're all enlightened. So I sometimes get really silly, I know, but never mind. I am serious most of the time, actually. I'm very serious, and in sessions I'm very attentive and I listen to people. In public talks and, I speak and I listen. But sometimes it just, I guess I like to be silly, to lighten the whole thing up. Free, and this is quite playful most of the time. Sometimes it gets very intense and painful and difficult, because that's life too. It's all the same thing. Hi, Karam. And so everything you've been looking for your entire life, that one thing to make you whole, is all in vain. Because all there is this. All there ever has been is this. This is God. Is that my bell or somebody else's? I think it's mine. And all there ever has been is this. This is love. This is life. This is wholeness. And no one is separate. There is no separation. There is no gaps, no distance between anything. Everything is all the same thing. Let me just answer that. So there's no distance between anything. There is just life. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. And thank you to everybody that supports me with donations. I live by what I do here. I don't want to do anything else apart from write poetry. Thank you to everybody indeed. And mwah, I send you lots of love. And if anybody wants a session, get in contact with me. Ciao, amore. Bye, bye, bye.